So what is the secret to success? So it's not a secret really. And I have to be honest about that. It's more of a lifestyle. There are quite a number of things that you have to think about in terms of how you evolve as a person. There are certain things that we do that are self-sabotaging, but we don't know. We must also realize that every successful person that you have come to know, that they built long-term success on habits. And what I want us to focus on today is certain habits that can help you win. Now, today's discussion is going to cover the power of consistency, building habits for long-term success. The aim to help individuals understand and apply the principle of consistency to achieve personal and professional goals. At times it's a bit difficult to stay on track because we live in a highly distracted world. So what I've done is that I've organized certain key outcomes that this particular discussion would nail. So the key outcomes we are going to have is, the first one is we'll look at the definition of consistency and also explain why it matters. The second one is to identify real-life examples of success through consistency. The third one is to recognize common challenges and how to overcome them. The fourth one is to apply practical techniques to build consistency habits. And lastly, adopt a mindset that prioritizes consistency over intensity. Everyone that was with us from episode 1 to episode 11, if you have not subscribed to this channel, I would like you to do that. And I would also like you to share this podcast with friends and family. The essence is that I'll be able to do more content and then we can reach a greater audience. Thank you. So, what then is consistency? Now, you must understand this, and it's critical, that consistency is showing up, reliability, putting the effort over a long period of time, and you might not see results. And that's the difficult part, because some of times, or most times, what happens is when we start doing something, we expect that the result must happen immediately. So let me give you something to ponder on. Masters, Marketing, MS in Marketing, University of Lagos. The outcome was I wanted a distinction because I couldn't get that in my undergraduate days. But the reality was that I knew that I was not talented academically, but I wanted that as well. So I needed to change something. And what I had to do was quite clear, that to beat those with talent, I needed to put in a structure. The structure was this: 1 hour daily, 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning, 1 hour daily, 5 days a week. And I did that for 3 years. And I got a CGPA of 4.63, which was a distinction. Now, I didn't do 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours studying. It was 1 hour daily, 5 a.m. to 6 a.m., 5 days a week. And I did that for 3 years. My PhD I've started. And I'm using the same format now. But now I'm doing 1.5 hours, 1 hour, 30 minutes daily, 5 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. And this is going to the second year. Now, why is consistency important? So let's talk about Michael Phelps. So Michael Phelps is one of the most decorated Olympian swimmer. 3 gold medals. Nigeria as a whole, we have 3 gold medals. Now, what did Michael Phelps do? I heard that from the age of 12 to 18, 6 years, that he swam 1.5 miles every day. So the base for success, for long-term success, is consistency. Now, all good things that you have heard, that you know, will have a challenge. And there are challenges you would face when you are trying to be consistent. The first challenge you face, I would describe it as craving novelty over mastery. Consistency is boring. One of my colleagues here, sitting at the back, he is filled with new projects. But the thing about consistency is that it's you showing up every day and doing the same thing. So the first challenge you would have to deal with, it's boredom. And people would look at you and say, you're a boring guy, or you're a boring lady. The second one is habit formation is difficult. Adding new habits to your existing lifestyle is going to be a very challenging scenario. That's because you are used to a pattern. The third one is delayed results. Consistency does not mean that you are going to achieve results quickly. So what that means is that your results might be delayed, but you still have to show up. So you'll be discouraged during that process. Then the next one, which is the last one, is distractions. We live in a highly connected world. Social media, TikTok, and there are quite a lot of them. Netflix. So when you are trying to stay consistent, there is a constant interruption that's of what? Technology use, connectivity, that disrupts that flow. So, 4 things I said. Consistency is boring. Adding new habits is challenging. Results will be slow to see, and you are surrounded by distractions. So I'm going to cover 7 techniques that you can use as your anchor to stay consistent. The first one, mindset. Embrace long-term thinking. You must understand it in a simple way. Success is not a sprint. Success is a marathon. That means when you are thinking about success, you must not think about success for a short period, for a season, but you must think about what? A lifestyle, a long-term thinking of success. And that means avoid short-term targets that usually create pressure. So when you are building your consistency structure, you must build your structure in a way that it will give you a long-term winning platform. An example, when we are trying to lose weight, some of us will do an exercise in the morning and then we'll check the scale in the evening. Are you with me? If you do that, then you are looking at just a short target. What I want you to do is, the target should be to show up, whether you are seeing results or not. Somebody explained it as atomic habits in the book. So that 1% gain might not be visible, but because you're showing up, as you're doing that, that 1% gain eventually would accumulate. So if you improve 1% daily, you will not see a 1% improvement, right? On the day. But if you do it for 60 days, how many percentage of improvement is that? 60. Does it make sense to us? My producer is nodding. That's 60. But you will not see a 1% change in the day. But if you do it for 60 days, you will see a significant change. Technique 2, mastery through repetition. Now, to master anything, you must embrace the principle of repetition. Yes. If you want to be a good chef, I know you want to be a good chef, then cook every day. A simple analogy. And then I want you to contest it. Let's assume that you have never cooked jollof rice before. And then you have made the decision that you want to cook jollof rice. And you want to be great at it. And then for the next 10 days, each day you would attempt to cook jollof rice. And every time you attempt, either through a YouTube video or by talking to a jollof rice expert or through a cookery book, you would improve your cooking technique. Where do you think you would be at the end of 10 days? I'm telling you, you will be better than what? The most people in this country. 10 days of consistent cooking of jollof rice, you will be close to mastery. Now, I haven't said that. To become the best, you have to practice for years. That means you have to embrace that repetition. Each day, you're turning up and you're doing it, and you're doing it, and you're doing it. I can give you an example of something that I'm adept at. So I do digital marketing for the company, and I've been doing that since 2009. And every day when I open my laptop, one of the first things I do is to optimize our campaign. So when I'm teaching digital marketing, I always tell people that this is 10 years of ARCO, and you must come to realization that I cannot give everything in 2 hours. But what you should appreciate is that because I've done it every day from 2009 to 2025, the level of understanding of that situation is very deep. So I say to you, mastery requires what? Repetition. Is that okay? So I will leave you with this quote. Repetition is the mother of skill sets. Technique 3, consistency over intensity. I spoke about that in my last episode, but then I was zoning into this. If you are going to start a new habit, if that habit requires some level of motivation, ginger, then there is a high likelihood that you will not be able to sustain it. It is imperative that when you're starting a new habit, that be kind to yourself. Some of us, when we're watching exercise videos, the way the coordinator on the screen is carrying out the exercise, we will try to match that effort. Abba, that guy has been doing that for years. So what I want to first recommend is start small, but show up every day. Is that clear? Start small, but show up what? Every day. If it's exercise or if it's your business, exercise as against trying to do 4 hours session. No, just start with a 15-minute session daily, which you know that will not disrupt you. And what you can then do with that is you can easily, as you get accustomed to it, then you can increase the duration and what you're doing. That way, it's a lot easier for you. You know, one of the issues that I've seen is that when we start too intensely and we think about how much pain and suffering we went through, we will not want to do it again. So let me give you a phrase. Start jelenkeli, meaning start in a gentle way. Like I like to say, be kind to yourself. You are not there yet. You are just what? Starting. If it's a business too, don't exhaust yourself. Just start little bits of that business. And then as you gain momentum, you can increase the level of intensity. Technique 4, pattern modification. Now, remember I told you that we are creatures of habits, yeah? So it's Not so easy for you to suddenly say, you that wake up at 7 and you are going to work at 8, that's your normal pattern. You now tell yourself that from next week I want to be waking up at 5. You will not. It is too much disruption to your regular routine. So what should you do? Ensure that you fit new habits into existing routines. That way, you don't make too much disruptions to your schedules. So let me give an example. When I said that I was going to do strength training, that's carrying weight, initially I used to go to iFitness. So I have to drive from the office, about 15 minutes drive. At times there will be traffic, then change, and then there's a whole lot that was going on. I couldn't sustain it. I did that iFitness for a bit, but I could not sustain it. So what did I do? I found a pattern that worked. So I bought myself 10 kg dumbbells at home, and then I said I'll be doing my workout between the hours of 8 and 8:30. Reason being that between the hours of 8 and 8:30, I am free. That period is actually Instagram mindless scrolling period. So that my mindless scrolling before used to start from around 7 to 9. So I reduced that, and then I started doing it 8 to 8:30. And that did not change anything. And then again, I applied the previous principle. Consistency over intensity. Technique 5. Reduce decision fatigue. Now, decision fatigue occurs when you have too many decisions to make, but they are not even significant decisions. They are, what am I going to eat today? What am I working on today? What am I wearing today? All those little bits of decisions would create decision fatigue. Now, the issue with decision fatigue is that too many choices will drain you. Also, you would find out that you would take a longer period to come to a conclusion. So do you know what I do? I do the same thing at particular times so that I don't have to make a decision. The exercise video I use for aerobics is the same video I use every morning. So I don't have to start thinking of which video am I going to watch today. I eat from a breakfast of 2 options: salad and tea and salad. Yeah. What that does is that I'm not overly bothered about what needs to happen, and I'm trying to think through it. Now, reducing decision fatigue would aid your consistency build or habit. So if you want to start a new habit, ensure that you stick or you stay with the same set of things so that you are not trying to figure out what am I going to do today, what am I going to wear today, and the whole works. What it will lead to is automated decisions. The system has been designed. All you need to do is just show up and act it out. It's one of the most powerful things that I've come to learn. Technique 6. Use reminders. One of the gifts of technology that has come in this modern climate is the smartphone. And we all have it. I remember in the preparation of this session, one of the questions I got was, Babadi, when I start with the idea of being consistent, I forget. I get lost in whatever I'm doing and I forget. And I said the easiest thing to do is what? Use reminders. Take your phone and set a reminder, daily reminder for the activity that you want to be doing consistently. Set the reminder maybe 30 minutes or 40 minutes before the activity. you would come to learn a bit about yourself. You will come to realize that it's either that which you are planning to do, you are serious about it. Or let me borrow from my friend's dictionary. Using reminders I use reminders for my wake-up time, although my circadian rhythm, that's the way my brain is wired now, is that I usually wake up around the same time, which is 4:30. I set a reminder for the time when my exercise is to be done. So I always know that when the reminder comes up, 30 minutes, I start preparing myself into that pattern. Then, aside from the fact that you should set up your reminders with your phone alerts, also inform family and friends around you so that they can also remind you, and they will also not be distractions to you. If every loved one of yours is aware that 8 p.m. is your workout time, it would be awkward for the person to now demand your time at that period. And when you tell people about your reminder plans, you can also be accountable to them. Does it make sense to us? Technique 7, identity acceptance. Adopt the identity of the person you want to become. Don't say, I'm learning to cook. Say, I am a chef. Don't say, I like to work out. Say, I'm a fitness enthusiast. What do you do with that statement? One, it's for affirmation. And secondly, is to put your reputation at stake. So, when you say I'm a chef, you make a public pronouncement to your family, friends, colleagues. So they are beginning to watch you. And you have to live up to that reputation. So what it does, it strengthens the position in which you want to approach your consistency habits. Take this quote: identity drives behavior. Professionals act like professionals. Identity drives behavior. Professionals act like professionals. If you say that I am an entrepreneur while you are in the ideation phase of the business, you are going to start embodying the attitudes and behaviors of entrepreneurs. Don't hide. Embrace that which you want to be. So when I started, I said I'm a podcaster, but I have not shot one episode. Now, I'm embodying all the behaviors of a professional podcaster. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Oh, of course it does. Public commitment strengthens your resolve. The goal of consistency is to achieve long-term success by building habits and gaining momentum through small, repeated actions. It is important because it develops discipline, builds self-trust, and creates reliability in relationships. To win with consistency, your role is to repeatedly show up and put in the work, even when you don't see immediate results. Thank you everyone for listening to this beautiful session. And for those of us here, I really appreciate. But there are a few things that I must speak to. The first one is that I have provided a link of the material which you can find in the description of this particular episode. The next 10 episodes will take this classroom approach. And what I want you to do is to give me feedback on this particular episode, which will help me improve on the content. I remain your host and your boss, Deola Badmus.